the anus.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Mind Over Madness anus.
Mind over manus.
Manus, yes, Mind Over
Manus.
Manus.
That's what we were talking about.
It was. But yes, welcome back to the podcast, everybody. I hope you are all doing very, very well. It has been a little while, but myself and Sean are back here. Blame me once again. Yeah, been an interesting couple of weeks. How's life?
Yeah, life is good, celebrating various family members' birthdays and what have you. It's just been kind of getting on with work and, plodding along, really. Enjoying the great outdoors and the great weather and stuff like that.
Yes.
Catching up with friends. And, making them connections again. Which is, something that happens in summer when nobody wants to do anything in winter. So. But, yeah, it's been pretty good. Can't complain too much. How about yourself?
Yeah, it's been pretty good. Pretty good. Been pretty busy, running all over the place, hanging out with certain people, and then trying to arrange stuff. Streaming and podcasting has been a little, unfortunately, slow. That has, unfortunately, I've not found the time to do it, and now we have, and I'm very happy about that. Few little health interesting moments over the past couple of weeks, but everything is tickety-boo. So
Ticker is tickety-boo.
Ticker is tickety-boo. Yes. The heart is still pumping, so that is good. But it's been interesting. Lots of stuff.
He's still alive.
Yes.
Why don't you have a Big Mac and fries?
I'm avoiding that food.
Yes, not good.
For good reason. But yeah.
Cholesterol. For the cholesterol.
Cholesterol. Yes, you don't want to get a big phone because of the cholesterol.
And we're back, baby.
We're back, baby. We are indeed back. But yeah, it's been busy, hectic, but fun. It's been nice just to chill and take it easy.
Yeah, well, I just can't wait any longer. Shall we just, get straight into the news and stuff?
I'm so excited to talk about the news because nothing ever goes wrong when we talk about the news.
I think it's all positive.
Always positive. There's never anything bad. But yeah.
All right, where to start?
I know there's so much stuff. Robin has sent us a few things. We'll talk about a couple of those things.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
shall we talk about Boris?
Let's talk about Boris.
Boris.
Let's talk about pasties.
He has stepped down as an MP now. Now that this whole inquiry thing has come out, shock horror, they were all partying throughout the whole thing.
Really?
And that it's been found out by, a group of their peers, and they've had like a inquest or whatever. And yeah, it has been all found out to be, true. He did mislead Parliament. Of course, he denies everything, like Boris should, because he's right. I think he's described as like a pound shop Trump or something. But yeah, I suppose that is, kind of what he's trying to ride on. Kind of resisting against authority kind of thing, which is probably what made him popular in the first place. A change of scenery, politics. But he's just a doofus, and he's now obviously accepted that he's done wrong. But he didn't knowingly mislead Parliament. He just misled them. I didn't actually run over a cat, but I just ran over a cat. So it's just like ridiculous.
Fucking moron.
Yeah.
Can we just say this? Why has it taken this long?
Because there's a big protection bubble around them while they're actually in power, and everyone's powerless around them. But now that they're out of power, and things start coming out, as it always is,
Boris
when it doesn't really matter, and everyone's already sick of talking about it, and all these parties and stuff like, what the fuck?
I mean, yeah, who's actually surprised at the fact that Boris and his band of bellends were partying? Like, nobody. We all knew they were. We fucking knew it. Like, this is the problem. The public have known this since the beginning. It's only now that MPs
they're admitting it
because they're so fucking stupid. Like every MP is. You're all morons. You don't know what you're doing. I don't know where the fuck you've studied, fuck off and restudy because you have no clue what you're doing. It's not surprising, and I'm actually shocked that it's taken Boris this long to be like, oh, I'm no longer going to be an MP. I'm going to go in a bakery. I don't know.
I guess the question is, will he be back?
I fucking better not be. I mean,
probably will be. But,
yeah, he probably will be in some way, shape, or form. Like he was at the G7 summit like a few weeks back, I think. For whatever reason, like he's not even prime minister. Like he didn't need to be there. Like Boris, no
probably
one
just
likes
a
you.
friend of the old leaders.
Like
They all
fuck
like to have their baboon around to entertainment.
They have the baboon around to distract them from the actual issues of the UK.
Yeah.
Yeah. But now they haven't got that anymore. I mean, there are a lot more MPs, I think, that should be fucking resigning and never being MPs again. Rishi Sunak. Well, what's that lanky prick? Jacob Rees-Mogg.
Yeah.
He should fuck off. Pretty much anyone that worked with Boris should fuck off. You should
Doris.
all resign. None of you should be MPs anymore because you're all morons. So
I know, just anyone in that ring, like, just let some fresh faces come in, like backbenchers and stuff. It's just getting ridiculous now. It's just a game of how much you can hide and how much you can get away with.
It seems,
power trip.
yeah, it just seems to me that they don't give a shit about doing their actual job anymore. All they care about is
It's the optics of looking like they're doing
rich,
amazing things.
getting rich, staying in power, and having more power. That's it. Like that's politics in the UK now, and it's shit.
It's just kind of turned into like Hello Magazine politics. Like, what can you do to be the gossip? I don't know. And these are the people making the decisions.
Yeah, even more concerning. But
there's nothing we can do to change it at this point because powers have been put in place so that we can't really protest anymore meaningfully. So,
yay!
Whatever.
I don't know. It's to me, I think it's just fucking.
It's great.
It's shit.
They're great.
They're pricks. It's I don't know. It's just surprising to me that the UK has managed to get to this point of where it just seems like there's no good anymore. It's all shit. Like the amount of times I think we do this.
Everyone's a suspect.
Yeah, when we do this podcast, every time we start doing the news segment, I'm just like, okay, what's depression this week? So, like, what's happened in the UK to make me hate it more? It feels like that's what's happening now. I don't want to hate the UK. I live here. I have to at least somewhat like it, but
no. I don't completely hate the entire thing. It's just
I do.
Most of it.
I do. I can't lie.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I like our country. I like our countryside.
Yes.
I like our people. I just don't like some of the politicians and the decisions and how we look to the rest of the world sometimes.
Yeah.
But we also like to moan as well. So
yeah.
Who doesn't love a good moan?
I do love a good moan, depending on the context. Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, not shocking. Big news. Boris is gone again. How many times have we heard that though? Like you said earlier, how many times have we heard that and then they're just not gonna bother?
No.
Like
they all get a slap on the wrist and a little fine. It's like, oh, it's dealt with.
Yeah.
You know, not dealing with the bigger issue of the fact that someone of great power who's making the rules is breaking the rules as and when they please, and just the whole hypocrisy of that. But we've already discussed that many times.
Yeah. But yeah, bye Boris. Fuck off.
Bye.
And get hit by a truck.
Yeah.
Sincerely, the people of the UK.
Yeah. Go. You try being homeless for a while. That would be. That'd be great for us all.
That would be a
In
sight.
the streets of London.
Homeless in the streets of London. Sorry.
Yeah. From shit news to fake news. What about Trump?
Yes, Trump. He's been indicted, didn't he? Oh, he's actually been charged with a bunch of stuff now.
Yeah, he always manages to wiggle his way out of it, a bit like pound shop Trump, Boris. Actual Trump manages to get through everything, doesn't he? So he's found with loads of documents. Apparently, it's just the thing that presidents do these days: just take all secret documents and hide them in the house.
Well, yeah. Apparently, he tried to use the argument that it was proven that Biden actually had documents that had also been taken out of the White House. Difference
Probably
here.
thought it was a newspaper or something.
Probably, yeah. There's that, but also difference
Wipe
here
his ass
is,
with it.
yeah, when they asked for them back, Biden gave them back immediately. Trump didn't. He had to have an
Yeah.
entire fucking raid done on one of his houses, just to get them back. Which is, there's a big difference here, Trump. I know you don't have any brain cells, and I know you only think with your penis, but big difference. He gave it back, you didn't. You're a moron. So
Fake news.
take your fucking small loan and shove it up your ass, then light it on fire so you can fucking die with it. That's how I feel about Trump.
Very entertaining man.
Very.
Not fit for reality TV, but not quite politics again. Even though he's looking quite popular again.
Which.
So,
Fucking. Yeah, This is the problem. You have crazy fucking morons that just believe anything they hear. It's the same in the
Yeah.
UK, by the way. Let me make this clear. I'm not just shitting on America for this. The UK has it too. Like, there are people that still want to support Boris. You need a.
yeah, the people who love him really love him. They're really loud about it.
You need a fucking cricket bat round the head. But I mean, yeah, it's. Oh, I don't know. It amazes me how like easily led some people can be. Especially, like we say, we've
Yeah.
talked about Boris and Trump now for like the last 2 years and everything that's been going on around them, and people still support them. Why? Yeah. What is wrong with you melons? How do you sleep at night?
It's a cult. It's a cult.
How do you go to
The
the
cult of
toilet?
Boris.
I'd be so interested to know, because you clearly don't shit like a normal human. Do you shit in the sink? Is that how you think that works? I can only imagine.
Yeah, yeah. They might have one of those B-day things.
Oh, I wouldn't
What are
mind
they
a
called? The
bidet.
bum washes.
Oh,
Yeah.
that would be nice.
Yeah.
Bidets are nice.
Yeah, I always like them on holiday. In case you
feel-
have a nasty case of Spanish splatters.
Spanish splatters! Have you had a nasty case of the Spanish
Ow.
splatters recently?
Spanish food.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's amazing to me how these two have managed to get away with so much. And I know they're being held accountable for some of it now, but A, they're never going to see a jail cell. B,
Why is it always too late?
yeah, B, it's way too late. C, even if they get fined, it's not going to hurt them. Like, they're rich.
No.
Like, just take everything away from them. That's
Fines are flawed.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. But yeah,
But yeah,
plumpy Boris.
yeah. Would you like to add another thing to that, or?
I have some local news from the land of
Okay.
Wales, from the land of sheep.
Local. My
Yeah.
God.
So Porthcawl,
Yeah.
which is not far from me, Porthcawl has a little fair. It has like a big fair place. It's been there since I was a kid. It's actually not that bad, but apparently they're going to be closing it down, which is quite sad.
Right.
It's being basically torn down because I think the government now own it. I don't know how. I don't know when that happened, but they apparently bought it. So now they're going to be closing it, ripping it down, and basically changing it into housing and things. Bit weird. I mean, I appreciate the fact they're not just destroying nature to put houses and stuff there.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. But I mean, it's weird that they're taking like sort of a big attraction out of an area that generates so much money.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll move it.
It's the thing with these seaside towns; they're all kind of almost relics of the past now.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, obviously they're all still there, but I mean, people don't really go on holiday to seaside towns and stuff anymore, like in the 50s and stuff. So
Yeah.
it used to be an absolute hub. If you see like pictures of Blackpool and Southport and Rhyl,
Yeah.
especially in Wales, people absolutely went on holiday there. It's amazing. It must have been an electric atmosphere. You know, it's the place to go.
Yeah.
But now people go abroad, and
Yeah.
yeah, and they aren't too into that kind of tacky kind of funfair seaside thing anymore. Which some people still are, which is great. I do love. We all love a slot machine and
Yeah,
what
of
have you,
course.
and penny machine, penny arcade.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they are just they're going down in decline. They're all
Yeah.
rigged anyway.
I
But
think
it's part of the fun.
Yeah, I think it's sad because it's one of those things, like, especially for me, that's very much a part of my childhood. Like, I remember when my mates used to go to like Porthcawl and they'd stay in like a caravan for a week or something, and then you just go down and meet them and go around the beach or the again the ground, like the fairground and stuff. Like, it's. But I get it. Like you say, it is a very much a thing in the past. But I guess my question is this: like with stuff like that, that's kind of part of the past. Do you think it should be just torn down, or do you think it should be relocated? Do you think it should be maybe renovated or given new lease of life, or do you think it's time that people move on, move past these kind of, I guess, old-fashioned ways of how these towns worked and try and modernize and join in? Or
I think it needs to be like renovated in a way, maybe made into something more modern, or some kind of. I don't really know what the answer is, but like kind of leisure centers or something that brings people to it without making it tacky. But I think people do need to kind of forget about that old seaside holiday aspect of it. But as long as the beach is maintained and kept clean, and the nature side of it is very much intact, then I am, happy about that.
Yeah.
And make the car parks not so expensive and stuff like that.
I agree.
But yeah, all I know of Port of Call is the car park and the beach, because that's all I've really been. I didn't see a fun fair there.
Yeah.
But it reminds me very much of like Southport though, because there's like big amusement parks there, and it's all just kind of derelict, and it's like an absolute eyesore now. Like rusted, bloody old kind of carousels and stuff like that. Be great for like a film set or something, but as just something that's there, it's a relic of the past now. It needs to be made into something like some modern art or something.
Modern art.
But where's the money in that? Make it an Asda.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's one of those things for me, because it's like, I get it. As time goes on, obviously, times change. Things have to be replaced, redone. I get it, but I think it's just. Do you reckon it's just one of those things that we as humans just fail to, or we struggle with? It's like moving on, like having to move past. Like, oh, but I cherish those memories so much. We'd rather relive them than carry on with our lives now. Ooh, what a deep philosophical point.
What an average Sunday.
What an average Sunday. I'm fucking knackered.
But I suppose people kind of have trouble moving on from things, but things move on anyway, and people just have to accept it. I mean, look at technology and stuff like that. It's just everything moves on.
It all moves so fast.
Yeah, you just things become the new normal, don't they? So, and if there's not enough money coming into these places for people using the amenities, and like all these Pontins and Butlins and places like that, they're all kind of in decline, and you see them, the state of them now. They're all kind of shabby and old and not really fit for holidaying.
Yeah.
But of course, there's nothing wrong with them if you do want a holiday there. But
definitely going to be an interesting thing to keep an eye on. For me mostly, I'll be honest, because living so close to it and having a lot of memories there. I worked in a burger van just outside of it, so it's crazy how times change.
Yeah, as long as they don't get rid of the beach, which is very unlikely.
That'd be that'd be impressive if they managed to
they somehow just get rid of the beach and make it a housing estate.
Yeah, remove the beach. What? Just like, nah, we don't need this.
Yeah. Who needs that stupid thing? Nature? What is that?
Nature. Who needs it?
Well, shall we talk about some of the mugs in this country? Philip Schofield?
Yes. We have to be careful. So N-once. Yes, that's how. That's how I have to say it, because YouTube. But yes.
Basically he has resigned because this whole kind of story came out about him dating a younger male colleague. So obviously, as far as he says, it was very consenting and not in any way illegal, which is a weird thing to put in your kind of opening statement. That's the fact apparently, and people don't seem to be contesting it. But apparently, he met this boy when he was like 11 or something, when he's in like a patron of the theatre company. But then they only started a relationship when he was of age. What that age that was, I don't know. I mean, it could be anything above
grooming.
16.
That's still grooming. Like,
yeah, if there's nothing wrong with that, then why has he resigned?
well, I think there was also like because the young lad that obviously he's had this fling with, he used to work on This Morning.
Yeah.
He was one of the people production. Well, no, he was a presenter. Sorry, he was actually a presenter on it, and then apparently he got shafted off to a different program.
Yeah, I think he was a runner.
Yeah, he got shafted off to a different program because basically Phil didn't want him there or something. Something happened,
Yeah,
like a
I was
rift,
thinking of problems.
an argument. Yeah, like again, this is why you don't fuck work colleagues. But yeah,
It's all very kind of mainstream gossip. Like there are many more important things
I mean,
that are going on.
apparently-
Obviously, in his world, he's the most important person. But
yeah, apparently this kid was apparently going to come forward and sort of talk about what happened and everything he'd gone through. Obviously, Holly Willoughby then made it clear that she was leaving This Morning and that her and Phil weren't exactly friends anymore. And then Philip made some interesting comments towards Holly, and now he's made himself look like a bellend. But I think we talked about this when he first... when obviously he first came out on This Morning and he did that show. I mean, we both said it then. It was a bit fucking weird. Like, he made it all about him.
And obviously he was using that as kind of a gateway into kind of covering up this like whole other thing that's going on.
Yeah.
So that's a bit sick, isn't it? Just like, oh well, I won't give you that story, but I'll give you this one, which is juicy as well.
Well, his brother's an aunts.
Hiding behind that. Yeah, obviously that's in the recent headlines as well. So it doesn't. I struggle to like kind of call Philip Schofield a nonce because I don't think.
I don't think
the evidence.
He isn't one or anything, but
he's not right.
There's definitely I think there's enough suspicious activity, shall we say, that I think you could absolutely say an investigation should happen to see if he was grooming this guy, because especially if he'd known him since he was 11, and then the moment he turned 18 or 16.
That's a bit weird, isn't it?
It's that's on the criminal side, I will say, but there's no evidence of that. That's just all speculation. But yeah, I mean, it's
in the eyes of the law, that is completely fine, though. Yeah.
Just a bit fucking weird.
It's just
But I mean,
and if it was also innocent, why is he left?
Yeah,
and come out saying, "Oh, I'm gonna kill myself. Feel sorry for me. You can't say anything bad about me, otherwise I'll kill myself." That's called emotional blackmail.
That's called emotional blackmail, and no one would miss you. Like I don't know. I think for me, the weird part about it all, like all of the entire situation with Philip Schofield and everything, it's just like, it's funny to me how, and correct me if I'm wrong, but in the UK, it seems like the people that are most in the spotlight, especially when it comes to TV, entertainment, things like that, news presenting, anything, they always seem to have a sketchy past that's being covered up by everyone that's higher up.
I know. Everyone knows about it.
Shall we go through the list? Like, what is wrong with the UK and like protecting these?
And there are still people. Apparently, according to many sources, there's still at least one or two other presenters who are far worse than Philip Schofield. But everyone, it's like an open secret.
Yeah, which is foul.
What is that a point of an open secret? And our public aren't being made aware of it.
All the funding for these like television companies and stuff, they're just taking it all out of HR, so that doesn't exist. Like, good luck reporting.
It's all
it.
about
No one
the business side of it.
Yeah.
This person is making me X amount of money, so we're not bothered about protecting other people.
But I mean, as in regards to Philip Schofield, I definitely think there should be some sort of police investigation into it, just to make sure that everything was above the board, make sure that there was no. Because I know the young guy has obviously come forward. Yeah, he's obviously come forward now.
His life has been exposed.
He's come forward. He's talked about it, but he's been very sort of adamant on the side of like, no, it wasn't normal. No, he used his power against me, like power dynamic and stuff. Like he said, he could get me to places because of obviously who he was. Like that's clearly not normal and is just disgusting. So I mean, if that's the case, he shouldn't be allowed to work in television ever again. Oh, and like you should struggle to get a job anywhere. Like even in Tesco.
Hmm. Well, he's of the age to basically retire and be basically fine now, so nothing, no consequence at
Yeah.
all. He sold his flat that he used as for like Fun Thursday in
Oh.
London. I know all these language around him. It's like
Oh.
so wrong.
Fun
But
Thursday.
that
What
went
the
for like 2 million or something. So he's sorted a
the
bit
fuck did he have
for a
for
while.
Sunday? Sloppy Sunday.
Yeah. So he used to
Fucking
be off
hell.
on Friday, so Thursday was playtime or something.
Oh.
Playtime. It's like
Jeez.
all these media places are using this kind of language, yet they can't directly call him, what people are thinking.
What he is, a groomer.
So
My opinion.
there must be some kind of like law against calling people that if you don't have if they're not convicted or something.
I mean,
I
look,
don't know.
yeah, I think the problem is that when it comes
We're
to
a
this
bit too
stuff,
lax.
if it, yeah, well, not just that, but the UK has a fucking issue with actually doing an investigation properly. I mean, look at our government. I mean, that should be enough to tell you right there. So when it comes to these, famous icons and stuff that are loaded, who have a lot of money, who have a lot of protection because they have the best lawyers or the best sort of group around them, it trying to get any kind of evidence against them, you'd have better luck shoving a toothpick up your ass and not stabbing yourself. Like it's there's such a culture, and I don't think this is just with the UK. I think this is a problem that all media has, whether it be America, UK, Europe, fucking like whatever, like France, whatever. The problem is now is that there's such a tight knit sort of no, we have to protect these people because of money kind of thing.
Yeah.
And this has been going on, let's not fuck around, for literally since the industry started. So it's just become clearly more prominent how often
Since the
it's
dawn
happening.
of man.
Since the dawn of man and his bollocks. Yeah, so it's just a constant stream of protection. So, I mean, again, this is not new. This is something that's been going on for decades. Like, even back in probably like the early 50s and 60s, though, probably a fucking thing of this. Like, again, Jim will fix it. Fucking, directors
Gary
that would.
Glitter.
Yeah, Gary Glitter, Roth Harris.
Aboriginal guy, yeah.
Fucking,
That's...
yeah, Roth Harris. Fucking, like, pretty much take your pick. Like,
Yeah.
it's crazy. Like, even directors, producers, movie industry, fucking TV, like, whatever it is, like, this is an industry that needs to be completely, like, just ripped apart and fucking fixed from the core. Whether that'll happen, probably not.
No.
But, I mean, we could
It will,
bitch about
it will carry on until it collapses.
it. We can fucking bitch about it. That's fine.
But as long as people are making money out of it, it's still going to keep on going.
I think that's it. Yeah. I mean, if there's gonna be,
Yeah, there can't be change when there's greed involved.
it's I don't know. It's sad that we live in a world that's gonna be like this because it's not gonna change.
Yeah.
It's fucked. But we'll see.
I think Prince Harry has begun like a little court case in this
Ooh.
country regarding well, I don't know if it was the Mail, Daily Mail, that about phone hacking and stuff. But he basically didn't show up to the first day of court because it was his child's birthday, which is, I'm sure
Bit
everyone on
weird.
the jury service who gave up their days to be there was very appreciative of that.
Yeah. Of course.
Not entitled at all. That was yeah. So yeah, apparently things aren't going too well for him, and him and Megan have been dropped by Spotify with their whole deal that they did.
Yep.
The Ginger Whinge podcast. Well, I know it's not. I think it's just Megan who does the podcast.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be surprised if Netflix dropped them and whoever else is sponsoring them drop them, because then they're just not producing any content at all, and people are getting bored about them bitching about the family all the time.
Yeah.
And making their living off that.
Yeah. I mean, shitting all over your family publicly. And
How long can it last?
desperate for fame. That's what it is, Sean.
Dragging people along. Like, oh, I have more juicy details. But buy my next book and you can find out a little bit more
Yeah.
about how my brother got an extra chicken nugget at lunchtime. Oh, I mean, it's absolute hell.
Oh God.
It's just so why people buy this shit. I'll listen to it. I don't know. People have real problems, you know. I mean, I'm pretty sure that half the people who even listen to it have bigger problems than. But they're just like, oh, well, he's Harry. He's our boy. People get such a pass in this country depending on who they are. It's ridiculous.
Well, this is kind of why I'm at a point of where I just don't care anymore. Like I've lost all fucking care for the royals, for anyone that's like not just a normal human being. Like anyone that has any slight bit of sort of, you know, fame or whatever, like you really have to earn your fucking way into being seen as like a normal person. And when you're complaining about not getting an extra chicken nugget, or you start a fucking lawsuit and then don't turn up to the fucking hearing, you're the bell end here.
I know. Yeah.
You're the problem child. You're the one that should have been swallowed. Are you hearing me, Harry? Like, I don't know. I don't care anymore. Like, him and Meghan can both fuck off. Like, they've said
I've kind of lost steam and just like the obsession with them as well with the media.
And it's
like I'm not a massive fan of them, but it's just absolutely gone too far with just obsessed with them. Every single move they make is wrong.
They're wrong.
Well, yeah, they are wrong. But I'm so sick of hearing about it.
Yeah, I don't know.
They need to move on to better things. Seriously.
What they need to do is just get on with their fucking life. If you want a private life, stay private.
Yeah.
It's not hard. But where would you get your money from then?
Oh yeah. That's the little, you know, crux. So.
Because Harry can't work in Tesco or McDonald's.
Oh, absolutely not. They can't fund their lavish, you know, Hollywood lifestyle with that.
I know.
Beverly Hills. With their neighbours Oprah. You got to stay relevant, eh?
You know. Oh, I don't get it.
Right, that's enough about them whingers.
Yeah, fuck them. Any more news, good sir?
Any more news? I have not got anything else.
No, I'm good.
Unless there's anything Robin said that we missed out, which you'll be
just
having words with us about.
There's two things, I guess. Quick notes. In Wales, Swansea's Wales is apparently going to have the tallest building in Wales. In Swansea, it's going to be the tallest tower. I'll be honest, I haven't looked at the details and I don't care.
Couldn't give a shit, Robin.
Sorry.
Next.
The next thing is kind of, I guess, slightly more interesting in regards to for me, I guess. But I believe it is Japan are redoing kind of their tattoo policy for people in the armed forces. Basically, they're going to allow people with tattoos to be able to join the military now, whereas before you couldn't, because obviously over there very different culture and
well, that's good.
But yeah,
it's
so
more inclusive, isn't it?
Yeah, so Japan rethinks tattoo ban in defense forces to lift recruitment, because apparently people are just not being recruited because they have a tiny tattoo on their ass. But yeah, so that, as far as I'm aware, that's it. I haven't
it's good
read
that things have changed. I know tattoos in that culture are seen as filth.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's
nice
so
that
much,
you know.
Yeah, I don't know if it's I don't know. It's fucking knocked my microphone. I don't know if it's so much filth, but it's more like it's definitely still not
Yakuza mafia kind of.
Yeah, it's still not widely accepted. It's got a lot better. They're definitely a lot more accepting of tattoos now than they used to be, but I think there's still a little bit of a ways to go, and that's fine. That's fine. It's in their they'll get there. It'll be fine. In the UK, if you had a tattoo like back in the 60s and 70s, you were known as you'd open your legs basically.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
And some people still have that view, don't they?
Some people still have that view. Those people need a frying pan to the head.
Dong. They need a bit of a ding dong.
A bit of a ding dong.
Ding dong around all goes.
But yeah.
But yeah, thank you for those suggestions, Robin.
Yeah,
And
cheers,
anyone else who would like to suggest anything, please, get in contact with us and
Yeah, send them in. Send it.
throw
Send it.
some our way.
Throw some away.
We'll be sure to cover them, even if we, only cover them briefly.
Yes, they do. I mean, bear in mind that we're friends with Robin, so we take the piss a lot.
Yeah. And anything, even if we don't discuss things, like
Yeah.
they do get seen, and we kind of, obviously we've got a lot to fit into one thing, and we struggle to
Yeah.
do it all within a time period.
Yeah, we try not to let these run on for like 2.5, 3 hours. That's kind of not why we do them.
We have a bit of a priority system, but that's no offense
Yes, of course not.
to anyone.
Again, if you end up sending us something and we do want to talk about it and it's a very large subject, who knows? Maybe I'll get its singular special clip, like its own little discussion, deep dive. Yeah.
It won't, but
I promise
it
I
might.
will. I'll do it. But yeah. Right. Anyway, so shall we move on? So what should we
Yes,
do
let's
next?
move on.
Games or
Let's get games.
all right? Let's
Done.
do some games. What have you been playing?
I've not got too much.
Yeah, I'm not gonna.
In regards to playing, I haven't really been playing too much differently, but I was going to talk about the PS Showcase. That was last month. I won't go through everything because there's not a great deal that interests me, but there was Spider-Man 2 obviously got its like little gameplay reveal, which is that's the highlight of the whole thing probably because it just looks so good. It's so nice to see Miles and Spider-Man working together, and obviously Spider-Man is changed with the whole kind of symbiote venom thing going on. But yeah, I'm excited to see where they go with that because both the Spider-Man and Miles Morales games on PlayStation are just some of the best on the console at the moment, and
They are.
some of the best superhero games in general.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd recommend anyone play those, and of course, it deserves the hype it's getting. It's
Definitely.
I'm very much looking forward to it, and I think pre-orders have just gone live in the last few days. So
Yes. I did
anyone
see
wants pre-order?
I mean, I avoid
The pre-order king over here.
Yeah, fucking, I'm good. I'll wait.
His middle name is pre-order.
I'll tell you something that was shown at the showcase that I was fascinated in and really, really did enjoy was Alan Wake 2. Finally, after 10 fucking years.
That looks really good, actually.
I cannot fucking wait. I mean, I got it tattooed for a reason. I can't wait. I've been waiting for another Alan Wake game for so long. It's been way too long.
Yeah, it just makes everything so much better when you have when it's something special to you.
Yeah.
Because the fact that things are still getting made, and you get to enjoy them.
It looks incredible as well. I have to admit they've done a fucking fantastic job of it. And I think the last time, obviously, we saw Alan Wake was Control, which I don't speak of that game because I'm sorry, it was awful. If you liked it, great, good for you. It was shit.
Yeah.
Remedy, you let me down.
Yeah, it was kind of mysterious and interesting to start with, but then it kind of goes a bit off the rails.
Yeah, just a little.
Yeah, I just kind of activated cheat mode to get all the trophies because they're quite easy.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Apparently, the Metal Gear Solid 4.
Yeah.
That's a big one. That's everyone's kind of interested in, and I never actually sat down and played any of them really, so I can't really comment too much.
Yeah.
But I know it's a big title, and I know it'll have a lot of fans. People will be happy about that.
Indeed.
Bungie bringing out a new one, Marathon.
Yeah.
So it's going to be basically another live service, kind of free to play. I don't know if it's going to be free to play actually, but I feel like that's the road it's probably going to go down with season passes and seasonal things and battle passes and buy this, buy that.
Yeah.
I mean, the state of Bungie at the moment when it comes to monetization is absolutely ridiculous. Like, I'm not even if you wanted to play Destiny right now, it costs you about £300 to get all the DLC involved and the seasonal things. Like, there's no kind of room for beginners in that kind of game. Like, they need to sort it out. But yeah, that is a whole different issue. But yeah, if you're interested in Marathon, that they do make good games. Not denying that. It's just monetization needs a bit of a wobble.
Yeah.
when it comes to PlayStation hardware, there's a few kind of new things. Apparently, there's the earbuds coming out, official ones, which will, stream lossless audio. But I feel like earbuds are one of those things that it's really cheap to make these days, and everyone's just cashing in them. The technology's there, and they just, let's put slap a PlayStation sticker on it, and there we go.
Charge a stupid amount for them because,
Yeah, because it's official.
Yeah.
There's going to be like a new handheld device, which is basically just for streaming.
Which is a weird choice on their part. I'm not going to lie. Like, I get going into the handheld market. I mean, you've got the Steam Deck, you've got the Switch.
Yeah.
And they are great to use. But why just streaming?
Like, it just doesn't really... It's like...
Makes no fucking
people just
sense.
use their phone or a tablet or something.
Like, why would you bother? I think Sony are in this weird fucking place that they don't really know what the fuck they're doing. Like, Jim Ryan is a moron. He's not a gamer. He doesn't understand what gamers want. But he is good with marketing and sort of finding a niche in things, right?
Yeah.
And that's why what he's done here is like, hey, people want handhelds. Let's make it unique by just streaming. When Sony's streaming is shit anyway. Like, if anyone has used the PS3 game streaming on like your PS5 or your PS4 through the subscription service, you'll know how bad it is. Like, you have to have a fucking strong internet connection just to get a stable.
It's just like not the ideal way to play things.
No, and it's weird how they still haven't worked this out.
Mm.
Do you know what would be cool? If they bring out the handheld and then they finally make it able to, you can download like the PS3 files to play a PS3 game. Then, cool. I'm interested in that handheld. Until then, fuck off. Not bothered. I'm not.
Yeah, so it's basically just a big nothing bomb, really, because you can just do it on your phone.
It's like basically an overpriced phone piece of plastic.
With a PlayStation sticker on it. So.
Yeah, again, Sony.
Everything's got that sticker on it. I love my stickers. I'm going to get a sticker book.
I get stickers. But yeah.
Gold star.
A very, very strange one.
But yeah.
Lots of PSVR 2 stuff that was announced, so Beat Saber has finally got a free upgrade. But it's free, so if you already own it, you get the free upgrade for VR2. Resident Evil 4, that's got released. Arizona Sunshine 2, the zombie game, that's coming out, which is cool. Five Nights at Freddy's, that's coming out on there. Yeah, I mean, it's cool stuff, but your headset still costs too much. Sony. Like, when are you
it's one of those things I would probably love it if I tried it. But who's got the money for that?
I'm fairly certain that when it comes to PSVR 2, I'd love to have that headset. Like, I enjoyed the VR 1. I bought it when it was dirt cheap. So, and to be honest, the VR 2 looks incredible for what it is. I'm not paying nearly the... Actually, it's more than the fucking console. I'm not paying more than the console for it. Like, no.
I feel like with VR as well, it's like... technology is moving all the time. I know you can like say this about any console and stuff, but I feel like as soon as they've released it, it's already out of date, and people and like all the other rival companies can like update theirs much faster than Sony can like market a PSVR 3. But it is a hefty piece of equipment, probably a really technologically advanced thing, which I would be really excited if I ever got my hands on that. But yeah, at the moment it's not a priority to get one of those. But yeah, I'm happy with the people who have got it and really passionate about it, and hopefully they keep on making some good gems with it. It is a wonderful little experience.
You'd hope.
Yeah. But yeah, is there any other gaming things you would like to mention?
For June, I don't know. I think they got announced recently, which is weird because you'd think they'd be released sooner. But a bunch of new games that have come out on PlayStation Plus Extra. Probably one of the better months that we've had. So there's stuff like Far Cry 6 and all that. But you've got Deus Ex Mankind Divided, Elix 2, Inscription, which is that card game that actually looks really interesting. I'd be up for that. Rogue Legacy 2, Thief, Vampire Masquerade, Talos Principle. There's quite a few genuinely good ones that are coming out. So I mean, it's a good month for that. I do think they still have a lot of work to do, especially with the classics catalog. Like, to me, that's still weird. I mean, as someone like you've had how long have you had premium now?
Well, I did have premium for like 8 months or something, and then it stopped in January. But yeah, not missed at all.
I've not missed.
And I'm someone who's probably a bit biased because I'm not really. I like to move forward with my technology. I'm not too big on the kind of going back and playing PS1 games.
Yeah.
Because I do kind of feel the age of them.
And it's not forever.
It's nice for an odd time, but I wouldn't heavily play classic games.
Yeah.
But it seems like they still have a lot of work to do. I think they are improving it with this whole. They've brought out something new. I can't remember what it was, but something about streaming PS5 games now. So they are kind of leaning more into the streaming thing. Hopefully, that's going to involve some improvements to the infrastructure of the system.
I mean, they did say, didn't they? Sony did say that they want to get into the streaming space more. And look, I'm all for it, but they need to. Like, I'll be honest, every time that I've used, when PlayStation Now was a thing, before it obviously got upgraded, I'd used that a few times, and I'd never had a problem with streaming the games of, like, PS3 games and stuff. But bear in mind that I am a fucking exception to that rule. My internet speed is utterly stupid. It's way more than I need, but that's the only reason that it functions. Like, whenever I've streamed it anywhere else, always has issues. Always. Yeah. So, and even with my internet speed, there was still delay issues. There was still input problems. So it's like, they need to.
Yeah, not everything.
Yeah.
It's sometimes it's caused by like their system.
Yeah, exactly. It's not just about like your internet speed. Like, great, that works for screen tearing and stuff, but it's not going to help you with input delay and lag and things like that. Like, that's all Sony, and they need to improve their systems before trying to push it, I think, more and more. Because what's the point? You're just going to annoy people. People aren't going to use it.
Yeah, premium users get access to this PS5 game streaming now, which is a new thing. So let's see how that goes.
Shit.
So they can be the guinea pigs, the beta testers. That's fine by me.
Yep.
And I'd still, in a heartbeat, if I had the space, to download the games to play them, because that just seems like the best way to play them.
Yeah, I mean, it just makes more sense as well, doesn't it? With technology and also just getting the best experience from the game as well. Like, this is why, as much shit as Microsoft gets, like, their Game Pass is a good fucking deal and a good offer, because, well, you can download all the games. You don't have to stream them, and they function really well. It works really well. It's not overpriced. So, but we'll see. Maybe Sony will somehow make it work really well, and they'll get a great sort of thing going with it. I doubt it. But they've surprised us before.
But yeah, anything else you've been playing?
Not been playing a lot, I'll be honest. I haven't really had time, which is a shame, really. Played the We Were Here series, still playing through that. Played through a CSI, very old CSI game on PS3. Did that was fun and interesting. Not like a whole lot, weirdly enough. Days Gone, still playing that occasionally. It's weird, I haven't gamed a lot recently, which is weird for me, because I've really been enjoying gaming. But I'll tell you something I have been doing. I've been playing on my Switch more, which is odd. I've been playing through the Assassin's Creed Ezio collection on Switch, which has been genuinely fun. Played a little bit of that Pokemon goodness.
Yeah, sometimes you just gotta have a bit of Pokemon.
Yeah, weirdly enough, it's just been one of those months where I've just enjoyed playing.
You have to play Zelda and stuff. Yeah, good games those.
They are classics that are genuinely fun.
Yeah, nice to play them on nice to kind of go back to handheld ones.
Yeah, definitely.
I definitely go through phases with that. But yeah, shall we move on to films then?
We can do, sir. We can do.
Films and TV.
Yeah. What have you been watching, good sir?
Well, I'll start with an interesting one. I watched Evil Dead Rise at cinema. I yeah, very much enjoyed it. It kind of goes back to its. I think. Well, is it? I don't know if it's an actual sequel to the 2013 one. I think it
I
is.
think so, yeah.
But
It is.
yeah, there's not really much connection between the two because they're all kind of standalone things anyway. I actually thought the main actress in it was actually the Mia from the
I believe it is.
the 2013 one, but I don't think it actually isn't.
I thought it
They're
was.
completely unrelated.
Oh.
And literally, if you look at a picture of them both together, they look so similar, but they're completely different people. I spent the first half of the film so confused.
Yeah.
Like, why isn't she remembering being possessed? What the hell? But no. The actual film, though, it's very gory. It's very good. Very entertaining. It's very claustrophobic. It kind of goes back to its roots of the original, which is always popular with the fans. It mostly takes place in an apartment building. So it probably I enjoyed it. The intro was really good. The title screen, chef's kiss. But yeah, it didn't really exceed my expectation. It didn't disappoint me. It was just kind of a good overall film. There is obviously a scene with a cheese grater, which is a bit talked about, but it's not too bad. It's not too bad.
Cheese grater?
Yeah.
What?
Cheese grater. All you need to do is look at the trailer and you'll see the cheese grater.
Okay.
But yeah, very kind of gory, and all the acting is really good. Even the kind of child actor is very good. Yeah, I recommend that one. I'm pretty sure it's on streaming, or if not, like DVD or Blu-ray.
Yeah,
DVDs don't exist anymore.
You can get it now.
Yeah.
What's it on? Probably Amazon.
I think I mentioned last time I watched Megan as well. That's all right. It's all right.
It's alright.
I wouldn't really market it as a horror film, more of a kind of thriller.
Yeah.
It's obviously produced by James Wan, so it's got them ties into the horror genre. It's all very ridiculous and silly, but looking at the state of AI these days, I mean, is it really that silly? I don't know.
Interesting hypothesis.
Lots of themes in there of like kind of parenting and kind of dumping your parenting on a robot and stuff like that, and dealing with grief and stuff like that. So there's kind of interesting themes, but how they go about it, it's kind of like, really? And then towards the end, it just turns into like in Transformers or something. I don't know. It's like a complete shift.
Into Transformers.
Yeah, it's like a complete kind of silly shift at the end. Like, we need a final fight scene, which is epic. I'm like, what? That's not really the tone I was getting from the whole thing. But okay,
It's like, okay,
I'm here for it.
Sure.
But yeah, that's my two kind of films that I've watched recently.
Oh, fair.
But yeah, have you watched any films, sir, or
I've done
anything you would like?
I've done a lot of watching. I watched the entire
good.
Pirates of the Caribbean series, literally all of them. Fucking, but so good. I miss Jack Sparrow, man. I miss him.
Yeah.
Yeah, watched Scream 6, of course, with you, which was interesting. It was better than I thought it would be, but I had the same problem that I had with pretty much all of them bar the first two, maybe, which is the ending. I didn't like it. I don't know why. I can't explain it. It is the same with all the Scream films bar 1 and 2, I think, but I just never can get on with the ending. Not that it was bad, not that it was like outlandish or stupid or anything, nothing like that. For whatever reason, just can't get on with it. I don't know why though. Like, there's no reason for it. It's not bad or anything. It just
I think with the kind of just the format of these films, it just kind of lends itself well to the first 3/4 of the film, and then it kind of sometimes falls apart in the last quarter. But I think by that time, people are like, "Oh well, we've had our like Ghostface fix, so that's okay." I mean, I definitely enjoyed this one more than Scream 5.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I can agree with you on that.
Yeah. And I feel like it's kind of a back to kind of. I was like, yes, finally we have a good one here. I didn't love the reveal at the end, but I feel like what could they really do with it? It's a nice kind of callback to the Scream 2 as well, with the whole family thing. But I don't know if I will spoilers, but I won't say too much. But it's the whole ride is good, and that's kind of what I kind of watch for, the ride. And it's nice to have a horror icon still being recognised in new ways, and it was nice for Gale to get a chase scene and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So
it was very cool.
A lot of fan service is good as well.
Yeah, and considering that it was this the first Scream film that was technically done with for obvious reasons, no Wes Craven input. I'm pretty sure 5 didn't either, did it? 5 didn't have.
No, 5. He sadly passed away after the 4th one.
Yeah.
So 5 didn't. It's Radio Silence that
5 was definitely
taken up.
It's definitely rocky and not very good. 6 though, I think
rocky.
they found their footing. They found a good little strong point for it.
Yeah, they definitely made a lot of improvements, and obviously a lot of things I had problems with in 5 were kind of rectified in 6. Sam's acting and stuff like. I feel like it was a lot better in this one, and more interesting.
Definitely, can agree.
Yeah. What else was I going to say?
Someone else.
But yeah, it seems like they have a lot of things to kind of keep it going. Yeah.
Keep her going.
Which I'm fine with. I know people will be like, oh, not another one, but keep them coming. I say.
I mean, yeah, it's one of those things, isn't it? Especially if you're a massive fan of it, it's a guilty pleasure. You enjoy it.
Yeah, definitely. I don't. As long as they're still making it,
Right.
it's it's fun.
As long as they're not Scream 5 over and over.
Yeah, it's kind of going a bit too kind of serious with it, and COVID didn't really help as well. It just felt like it had a massive impact on it.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway.
Anywho.
Anyway.
Yeah. So there was that. I also watched Guardians 3. Saw that in the cinema.
Yes.
That was actually surprisingly good. I was pleasantly surprised by it.
I want to see it.
I'll be completely honest. I'm not going to spoil anything. I won't spoil anything. How the fuck they kept the 12 rating, I will never know. Honestly, they broke like every rule in the book for getting a 12. So I don't know how they kept it, but very, very good film. Very fun to watch.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
I feel like every Marvel film just wants to be Guardians of the Galaxy these days because the kind of humor and kind of, I don't know, positive kind of atmosphere of it.
Yeah.
But they just never quite get there.
Yeah.
But
they struggle.
But Guardians just somehow, remains in its niche kind of category, and it actually works in Guardians, I feel like.
Yeah, definitely.
I can't remember anything that happens in the second one, but first one definitely.
Yeah, no, it was a very good film. Will Poulter was very good in it. Although
Adam Warlock.
Yeah, it was very good. It's not what you expect from him, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
And again, like I said, it feels. I will say one performance that did sort of bug me throughout was Chris Pratt. Didn't feel like he wanted to be there at all.
Yeah.
But that's just, maybe I'm just not.
That's the thing, I suppose.
I mean, yeah.
When the first one came out, obviously he was kind of an up and coming one and wanted to make his mark, but now he's kind of too big for his boots, and they start to get a bit like not really caring about what they do and just kind of cruising along, thinking that their legacy will carry them.
But without spoiling anything, yes, everything else was very good in it. Writing, very good. Effects, very good. Plot.
Comedy, actually funny.
Yeah, comedy, actually funny. And again, like I said, how they kept that 12 rating, I will never know. Because I honestly don't know how they got away with some of the stuff they did. Yeah. So, we'll see.
And how is Gamora back, by the way? People just die and they just come back. It's fine.
Apparently, so I was very fucking confused by this. But apparently there was some sort of fucking after credit scene or something somewhere that I'd missed. And I was like, oh,
right.
Really? Oh, right.
It's a Marvel film. Death is no obstacle anymore in anything these days.
If they want to bring him back, they'll bring him back.
Yeah. If it makes them money, they'll bring it back somehow.
Yeah, exactly. But watched Alice in Wonderland, the 2010 version, I believe it was. or was it?
Oh yeah.
So that was like Johnny Depp playing the Mad Hatter and
Johnny
stuff.
Depp and
Very good, very good. Alan Rickman.
I watched that at cinema ages ago.
Yeah, that was really good.
Okay.
I enjoyed it. It was fun. The Whale with Brendan Fraser. Oh, beautiful film. Beautiful. If you haven't watched it, go and watch it. Very good film.
Yeah.
Emotional.
I'm just going to disappear for 10 years, gain 30 stone, and get an Oscar. Yay!
What a man.
No.
I love Brendan.
What a man.
I love Brendan. I will always love Brendan.
Yeah.
So yeah, watch them.
He's aight.
He's aight. Yeah, that's it for me.
I watched Stranger Things season 4 finally.
Ooh.
Before my Netflix didn't work anymore. Silly company. But yeah, it's quite good. I mean, Stranger Things as a whole is massively overhyped.
That's why I don't watch it.
It's like every single shot is tracking amazing cinematography, colors and effects, and it's so overproduced. That's not taken away from the fact that it is a good series with interesting themes and a stellar cast. But I can't escape the feeling of it being massively overproduced. I mean, to the point where in season 4, it literally feels like a trailer. Like, it's so kind of overproduced. I can't really describe it, but you know how you watch a trailer and it's like, the kind of music is there, and like that kind of, it's like bang bang in your face.
Yeah.
It didn't feel like a TV series. It felt like I was watching a trailer. But it does its job. It's epic, and it brings that 80s back. It has that vibe. The music is really good, and the directors obviously know what they're doing. Acting is all good, even though I'm not too fond of like Millie Bobby Brown as a person. She's good in this, of course. It felt like they also in this season, especially, they kind of ran out of things to kind of do, because it kind of just felt like retreading the same steps.
Yeah.
With no real consequence, you could basically skip this season and there would be nothing that you would miss.
Yeah.
Whereas the other ones felt original. This one kind of felt like, okay, it suffers with season 4 syndrome, because season 4 of every show, it seems like it kind of loses its kind of mileage a little bit. But yeah, it was good. I'm glad I watched it anyway.
Yeah.
Looking forward to the next season when that comes out in 10 years or whatever. I think I just heard like Sarah Connor is going to be in it, Arnold Schwarzenegger. So that should be good. Obviously, there's a Robert Englund little cameo in season 4, which is great.
I do love a bit of Freddy.
Yeah, people say it's a massive kind of thing. It's literally 5 minutes. But yeah. Obviously, Robert Englund himself has said he's not going to reprise his role anymore any further going ahead.
Well, he said his back's gone, his neck's gone, he's 76. It is not time. Like, maybe a comedy special of Freddy retiring, maybe, but that's it.
I don't think anyone's mad about that or anything. No. It's just...
He has earned the right to...
He said he'd happily do cameos and stuff, and I feel like that's the only thing that would make sense going forward anyway.
I don't think they're going to be able to reboot it. The execs just don't know how to do reboots.
No.
Not properly anyway, so...
I kind of enjoyed the Nightmare on Elm Street reboot, but it wasn't the same franchise.
Jackie did a great job as Freddy. I think he was a fantastic Freddy. It was just the script was all over the place. The fact they outright called him pedo, which is not what you do. Yeah. Because Freddy is he's a villain, yeah, but you want to love him. You don't want to fucking hate him. So don't do that.
I mean, Philip Schofield Korea reboot. He could become Freddy Krueger.
Has he got a little basement that he keeps him in?
No, he has a flat in London, but that's been sold now.
It's little fun Thursdays,
Welcome to this morning. Holly.
I don't like it.
In your dreams.
I will, bitch. Yeah.
But yeah, I also watched Chucky season 1 and season 2, which is it's pretty good. It's got it is kind of a bit teenage drama-y stuff kind of going on a lot of the time, but the fact that they have a lot of the kind of original casts kind of coming back, and even fucking Andy's come back, which is interesting.
Yeah.
There's a lot of references, especially in season 2, to kind of old films that I like, and like Evil Dead and Scary Movie 2 and stuff like that. There's a lot of references in there, which is like, that's cool. So yeah, it's worth watching for those alone, really. But yeah, Chucky itself is the best thing about the whole series, rather than the kind of subplots around it. But yeah, I kind of recommend that. So yeah, I don't really know what else to say about it because it's very kind of camp.
It's fair.
Yeah.
Well, that's fair.
But yeah, one to put on your lists. But yeah, any more film things, or is that it for this section?
That's it.
Okay.
I ain't got anything.
Well, I'm going to surprise you and say I do have something for the interesting thing.
What?
I plucked it out of the news section, and I thought I'd put it in this section because it may be a bit more of a meatier subject.
Oh, meaty.
Meaty. So obviously this month, June, is Pride Month.
It is.
So I can't help but notice that Pride seems to be everywhere, but it seems to be a bit commercialized now. Do we think it still like represents what it should be? Because I've been to a few Pride events, and of course, that it's all very camaraderie and stuff like that. But it does feel like it's been overtaken and commercialized. Like everyone's selling Pride things. It's a Pride flavored coffee. It's a Pride cupcake. It just seems like an excuse to kind of monetize things these days, and yeah, has the morals of Pride kind of elapsed a little bit in recent years? Is it just kind of the place to be?
I think definitely when it comes to companies and stuff, yeah, absolutely. I don't think there's any fucking question to that. I think when it comes to the average everyday person, no. I think Pride still means what it is. It's about showing support. It's about showing, like you say, camaraderie. In everyone agrees that you should be able to love who you want to love and be who you want to be without any kind of repercussion or bullshit. Like that is what Pride is. It's about support. It's about showing the world that we don't give a fuck. Like we are proud of who we are. And I absolutely stand by that. But I think, companies these days have definitely commercialized it. They've definitely used it to just make money. You see it all the time. Like fucking Sony are doing it with their, play these LBGT games. And then you look at the games and you're like, that's not a that's not a Pride game. What are you talking about? Like, it's become very
Pride
much,
Month.
Yeah,
Pride sales.
Yeah, it's become very much, hey, look, buy this thing as well because it supports Pride. When in actual fact, it doesn't.
It supports them.
Yeah, there are some companies out there. Don't get me wrong, that probably do sell Pride sort of merchandise or whatever you want to call it. Pride
seems
products.
Like a bit.
And they actually give the proceeds to charities that support Pride. All for that. That's wonderful. It's like these big companies like Coca-Cola and Nike or whoever the fuck does it. Like these companies, clearly they're not giving anything to Pride. They just want to make money. And it's a very easy and manipulative way of doing that by just selling a product that people think will support, Pride. When in actual fact, it just has the logo on it. That's it. Like nothing about that purchase has supported Pride at all. So it's definitely a fine line and a fine balance. But I think it's unfortunately a big portion of it has become very commercialized. And
I feel like it needs to be kind of scaled back these days. I feel like we're kind of getting past the point where gay people are persecuted, and I feel like it would almost be a better thing if it was scaled back and made smaller, because
I don't know.
I feel like equality does exist for the most part.
I don't know. It's a weird one. Again, I understand this comes down to experience as well, like what people have experienced and what they've seen and what they haven't seen. As a demisexual male, like I've been with guys, I've been with girls. Like I don't care, as you will very well know, Sean. But I to be honest, I had an experience. I painted my nails. I had my eye makeup on just when I went out to meet with a friend. And it wasn't like it was excessive. It didn't look over the top or whatever. I still had a beard. Like, but I experienced what, gay people must experience all the fucking time, which is I had a couple of people who were giving me dirty looks. I had a few people who literally made it very clear and obvious they didn't like me, just because I painted my nails. And I can't imagine living that every day would be fucking traumatic. So, I mean, I think there's unfortunately still an underbelly of it.
Definitely. Yeah, I still. Yeah, I feel like we're getting to the stage where it's kind of
it's better.
80%. It's better than it was, obviously, but I feel like I don't know if it's like completely representative of everyone now. Like the LGBTQ plus thing, I don't think they represent me. I when I go to Pride events, I don't feel like it's something that really connects with me. But it's it's an interesting one. I still feel like it should exist because obviously it's difficult, especially if you never see two guys holding hands basically in towns these days. You see it in some cities.
Yeah.
You never see two. Well, you sometimes I feel like you see more women kind of openly being expressive of each other rather than guys. Yeah. Which is my personal experience anyway.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But so it still should definitely there should be something to kind of celebrate that, but it has kind of been hijacked. And when you see kind of people marching in full bondage gear and stuff like, is this really where we've come to? Like, is this representative of me?
Yeah,
it's like one of those things. But it's I'm kind of a little bit sat on the fence now. But it's it has been commercialized, definitely.
Yeah, commercialized, definitely. And as for an
excuse to drink all day.
Yes. And as you said, like kind of the representation, I get it. I think it's definitely representative of all the things it needs to be. But I think some small groups, I wouldn't say the bigger ones, but I would say there are pockets of the LGBTQ community that are very much kind of you're not one of us kind of thing, which I've also experienced that side of it too. I'm very lucky. A lot of my friends are part of that LGBTQ community that's very positive, very good place. I've been very welcomed. I've been very much shown kind of where I need to be educated and where I don't. But I have also met people that are part of those little pockets that are very much kind of you're not one of us, get away from me kind of thing, which I've always found odd because surely if I'm a supporter of you, you'll want me to support you. Like,
I know, it's like you fight for fucking to be accepted and equality, but you don't want people to be part of your club.
I definitely think it's a much smaller minority of people, but
again,
it's unfortunately it's the smaller pockets tend to be the louder ones. Yeah, they hijack it and they make it something it's not. I know there was a Pride March yesterday, I believe, down in Cardiff. I sadly couldn't get there, which is very annoying. I wanted to go.
That's the thing. Like, does it even matter if you're there? It's only an event, isn't it? You don't have to go there to be.
I mean, no, absolutely not. I think it's more just like I've never gone to a Pride March before, and I really wanted to, and I did arrange to go, but I couldn't make it, which is very frustrating. But I'm sure that there'll be other times where I can do that, and I can show my support in that way if I want to. But I think we've made it very clear on this podcast, like, we're very much supporters of Pride and the LGBTQ community and everything that goes with it. So, obviously, there are going to be a few vocal minorities, unfortunately, as there are with every group of people that try to look after themselves or support themselves. There's always a small group of bellends that like to make a big ruckus. But I definitely agree with you. It's definitely been commercialized. It's definitely been pulled away from the actual meaning. It's
become a bit too big. I mean, have we ever had a Pride Month? I think it's only in the last few years that we had Pride Month. I always remember the events.
I don't know.
But I mean, are we going to have Pride years next? And I'm looking forward to 2069.
No. Apparently, Pride Month started in June 1999.
Did it? I've literally only ever heard about it in the past few years.
That was when U.S. President Bill Clinton declared the anniversary of the Stone Riots every June in America as Gay and Lesbian Pride Month. In 2011, President Barack Obama expanded the official recognized Pride Month to include the whole of the LGBTQ community. So 2011 is when everything got included, but 1999 was when it was specifically for gay people. And then obviously now it's fully inclusive with everything, which is great. We approve.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
Pride months are fine. Pride months are okay. But I think it's just how people go about it needs to be done sensibly, respectfully, as with anything that you support. It should always be done with sensibility.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like it obviously deserves its place rightfully, but I feel like it can be scaled back, and I think there's this small minority who wants to kind of hold on to that kind of victimhood, that want to be permanent victims of persecution, which, it's a bit like, small numbers of every kind of minority. But yeah,
it's
I'm happy with it, but scale it back is my thoughts.
It's a tricky one.
Tricky.
Tricky dicky.
Tricky dicky.
Dicky
For
tricky.
lack of a better phrase.
For lack of a better phrase, tricky dicky.
But yeah, that was an interesting subject, wasn't it?
Yeah. Thanks.
Sometimes we agree, sometimes we disagree.
Yeah,
but we do it in a nice way.
We do it in a respectful manner, and that is what has happened today. I've even taken the microphone out of the stand.
Full presenter mode.
Full presenter
You're too
mode.
late. We're ending it now.
I know. It's too late. It's too late. No, right. But yeah.
Apologize for pride.
Oh, stop it. Stop it. But
Stop it.
Stop it. But yeah, no. This has been fun. I had a good time here, Sean. Did you have a good time, sir?
I did have a good time. It was nice to kind of do it again, and I get that feeling, post-podcast feeling, where you're like, oh, I got things off my chest.
Yes, I got things off my chest. I got it done. It was fun. Now time for a bun.
Bun, not bum.
Not a bum. No. But I want a bum. But yeah, no, it's been fun. I've had a great time with you. It's always fun to do the podcast with you, good sir. And
That's why we do it.
yeah, and to everyone else who watched, hopefully you enjoyed as well. You can always comment your comments down below, letting us know your thoughts and opinions on the things that we've talked about as well, of course.
Yeah.
Thank you, Robin, for all of your suggestions. We may have skipped over a few of them, but that's fine. We hope you enjoyed.
Keep them in the bank.
Yeah, we'll keep them in the bank for next time. Also, don't be worried, guys. Send us stuff if you want us to, hear about things, do things, say things, talk about things. Let us know. The more the merrier at the end of the day, because it is getting quite hard to find stuff to talk about now.
Well, not when we leave it 2 months. It's all right. It's nice.
It's alright. But yeah,
It's tight.
hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Again, thank you, Sean, very much for joining me. Good sir.
Thank you very much.
It's always appreciated. I always have a good time with you.
Thank you, anyone, for listening.
Yeah, thank you to everyone who did take the time to listen. It is greatly appreciated. And hopefully you won't be waiting as long for the next episode of the podcast.
Yeah. There will be a next one. Just don't expect it, It's a nice surprise.
Month and a half.
Nice little surprise.
Yeah. Hopefully
Little treat.
it'll be a little treat. But yeah. Thank you guys for watching. It's been a pleasure, and we shall see you in the next one.
Bye, guys. Happy Pride Month. Bye.
Happy Pride Month.